Okay, so you want to own a car rental company. Buy a fleet of vehicles, park them at an airport counter, and collect money every time someone needs a car for a few days. That is roughly what most people imagine when they picture this business. A car sits in a lot. Someone rents it. You get paid. Sounds clean. Sounds simple. And if you look at the numbers, the global car rental industry generates over $130 billion in revenue a year. It sounds like one of the most reliable ways to turn steel and rubber into cash. It is not clean. It is not simple. And the gap between what car rental looks like from the outside and what it actually is on the inside nearly destroyed one of the largest companies in the industry. Here is what the business actually is. It is a business where you are constantly buying and selling tens of thousands of depreciating assets, betting on used car prices you cannot control, while your revenue swings with airline traffic, tourism, and the economy itself. Get the timing wrong on either side, and a company with a 100-year history and 500,000 vehicles can file for bankruptcy in a matter of months. Let's start with the fleet. A rental company does not build cars. It buys them in bulk directly from manufacturers, often at negotiated fleet pricing below retail. A mid-size sedan might cost a rental company $22,000 to $28,000. An SUV runs $30,000 to $40,000. Multiply that across a fleet of even a few thousand vehicles, and you are looking at $70 million to $100 million just to get cars in the lot before you've rented a single one. Here's the part most people miss. A rental car is not meant to last. Companies typically hold vehicles for 6 to 18 months, then sell them. Because a car with rental mileage and rental wear loses resale value fast, and because renters expect newer models. So the entire fleet turns over constantly. That means the business isn't just renting cars. It's running a permanent buy and resell operation on top of the rental operation, and that resale price is not guaranteed. It depends entirely on the used car market at the moment you sell, a market you do not control. This is exactly what nearly ended Hertz. During the pandemic, travel collapsed almost overnight. Rental demand cratered. But Hertz's fleet payments, the debt used to finance those vehicles, did not pause. In May of 2020, Hertz filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, carrying close to $19 billion in debt, much of it tied directly to fleet financing. A company with nearly 100 years of history, brought down not by bad service or bad locations, but by fixed obligations on depreciating assets during a period with almost zero revenue. Now here's the twist nobody saw coming. In 2021, as the economy reopened, something unusual happened. A global semiconductor shortage crushed new car production. Used car prices, the same prices that had been a liability for Hertz, spiked to record highs. Suddenly, the fleet Hertz was selling off was worth far more than expected. That single shift helped the company exit bankruptcy within about a year, emerging with a lighter balance sheet. The same variable, used car pricing, that had helped sink the company, ended up helping save it. That is how thin the line is in this industry. Let's talk about how the money actually comes in. Daily rental rates vary wildly by location, season, and vehicle class, but a typical economy car rents for $35 to $60 a day, with premium SUVs and luxury vehicles reaching $100 or more. On the surface, a car that costs $25,000 and rents for $45 a day sounds like it pays for itself in under 2 years. But utilization, the percentage of days a vehicle is actually rented out, is everything. Industry-wide fleet utilization typically runs between 70% and 80%. That means for every 10 cars on the lot, 2 or 3 are sitting idle on any given day, still depreciating, still costing money in insurance and storage, earning nothing. Then there's the add-on revenue, the part that actually protects margins. Insurance waivers, GPS rentals, prepaid fuel options, additional driver fees. These carry enormous markup compared to the base rental. Industry analysts have long noted that ancillary products can contribute a disproportionate share of total profit, sometimes rivaling the rental fee itself because, unlike the car, they cost the company almost nothing to provide. Now the costs, that never stop. Fleet financing, the interest on debt used to buy all those vehicles, is one of the largest ongoing expenses in this business. Insurance across a fleet of thousands of vehicles, all driven by strangers, runs into the tens of millions annually for a mid-size operator. Maintenance and cleaning between every single rental. Airport concession fees, which can run 10% or more of gross revenue just for the right to operate a counter at a major airport. And staffing across counters, shuttle operations, and return lots around the clock. Here's the cost almost nobody outside the industry thinks about. Repositioning. Renters don't always return a car where they picked it up. A one-way rental from a downtown location to an airport or across state lines leaves a vehicle sitting somewhere with no natural demand. Companies either pay to truck it back or discount future rentals just to get someone to drive it there for them. Every misplaced car is quiet, invisible cost, eating into margin the same way empty miles eat into a trucking company's revenue. Then there's damage. Every rental car eventually comes back scratched, dented, or worse. Industry data suggests the average rental vehicle incurs several $100s in reconditioning costs over its life in the fleet, and a portion of renters dispute or simply never pay for damage they caused, leaving the company to absorb it. Let's look at two scenarios. In the optimistic year, travel demand is strong. Utilization sits around 80%. Used car prices are stable or rising, letting the company sell aging fleet vehicles at a profit instead of a loss, and ancillary sales stay strong. A mid-size regional operator running a few thousand vehicles can post double-digit operating margins, turning fleet ownership into a genuinely profitable, scalable business. In the realistic bad year, a downturn hits. Business and leisure travel both soften. Utilization drops towards 65%, and at the exact same time, new car production ramps back up, pushing used car prices down. Now the company is selling aging vehicles at a loss while still making full payments on the fleet financing for cars sitting unused in the lot. Insurance costs climb. A handful of major liability claims come in. The gap between those 2 years for the exact same fleet can be the difference between a healthy profit margin and a cash crisis that forces asset sales just to stay current on debt. This is why the car rental business isn't really a transportation business at all. It's a leveraged bet on two things happening in your favor at once. Enough people wanting to rent cars and the used car market being kind to you when you sell. When both align, the model prints money quietly and reliably. When they diverge, even a company with a household name and decades of history can find itself in bankruptcy court within a single bad year. The cars are just the inventory. The real business is timing,